Just yesterday, we were talking about the fact that XRP was gearing up for another massive breakout. And take a look at what the price has been doing today. We are right now on the verge of a breakout for XRP, as we right now are retesting the trend line. Matter of fact, maybe, just maybe, we actually already got rejected, but over on Bitcoin, we also see a beautiful head and shoulder pattern, of which we also just broke out. And if we're taking a look at the XRP trade that we made yesterday in the video, where we said again that buying this bottom is very much worth it, it was up roughly 20% a bit earlier in the morning, right now up only 15%, but definitely not too bad for just a few hours. And again, taking a look at this channel, you'll realize that this is mostly just the start of another massive impulse. We just tried to basically beat the curve. I am not saying that we're gonna just break out and go to $3.40 again from here guaranteed. All I said is this, from a risk reward perspective, looks to be a very good entry. And if we want to, we can already right now sell it again for a 20 or 15% profit, the trade we made just yesterday. But guys, actually, matter of fact, for every video I make right now, I'll be giving away $50 if we get above 1,000 likes. All you gotta do is just press that like button, and that's basically it. And if you want to win, I got to pick you from somewhere. I can't see the likes, so comment something down below. But if we get to 1,500 likes, I'll do 2 people that win $50, so $100 in total. And I'll pick another winner from the Instagram comments. So just go over there and also place a comment down if you want to win. Now, there was something pretty interesting that Trump just stated. He basically said a pretty powerful message. He himself said, "He who controls or who has the gold makes the rules." And this statement came when the markets were already nervous, and Trump's words only added to that pressure as gold then went above $3,400. The Bitcoin versus gold ratio going slightly down, as Bitcoin has been going sideways, but gold has been going up tremendously. But then again, when you zoom out and start to think about it, still it seems the way that Bitcoin is here to replace gold, or rather these cryptocurrencies are just acting like gold whenever, gold does well, really. But then for the most part are acting like the stock market. It kind of becomes a matter of, it kind of has the best of both worlds, where it's partially a better store of value, but also partially something that could do well in good market conditions. But then again, if you turn it around, it could also do really well in bad market conditions when people are uncertain because of that store of value property. Which brings me back to the point of yesterday's video. We were talking about the money supply and how every single time the money supply goes for a crazy growth spree, that Bitcoin also decides to go for a crazy rally. And that this time around, one of the major focuses and fears we have is that we're going to see, for the next few months, a crazy upspurt, just prices going up, with a decline in about 2.5 months as Trump gets closer to new tariffs. As right now there's a 90-day pause, right? And then most likely a continued rally towards either, maybe, it depends a bit, but let's say maybe September, October, or perhaps as far as January of 2026 for the peak of the bull market. And then again, a slow descent, or perhaps a quite hefty descent over the next year or so. I will also quickly say, ladies and gentlemen, that if you are looking for a platform to trade on, make sure you check out the links down below. I personally am trading mostly on Blofin, of which there's a link right here. It's the first link in the description. And by the way, if you want to press that like button, you can do it right there, Press that like button. Why not? You've got nothing to lose. Anyway, 𝗬𝗂X you can use from anywhere in the world, every single country. PWNX, I'm going to start making a lot more videos about. Matter of fact, I'll post a tutorial, I think tomorrow, to how to get into all these bots, as it's really, really cool. And then, of course, Bybit for all the people that can use it. I would. It's just Bybit doesn't allow many countries. Then again, talking about Blofin, as it currently stands, you get yourself a 10% cash back on deposits and up to $1,000 worth of a futures bonus. But also, the more you trade, the more you can win. You can get yourself a Rolex or a MacBook Pro. Just check it out. Link is down below for Blofin. And again, you can use from anywhere in the world. You might need to use a VPN. If you do not want to use a VPN, just use 𝗬𝗂X. There's also a link for that one down below. I use it a lot too, but yeah, I just have to make choices, right? Now, a little bit earlier, I was actually having a talk with one of my friends, and he basically said that Bitcoin's price, as it currently stands, is holding pretty well above the 50 moving average, and that we're now inching closer towards the 200-day moving average. And actually, when you start to think about it, things are looking beautiful as it currently stands in terms of price action. And even though some heftier resistance may lie amongst this line really, the moment we cross it, the moment we breach through, some of the more beautiful days may be back upon us. And it reminds me of something else we talked about yesterday. Gold, as it currently stands, is peaking so hard. It's going so crazy. And just yesterday we described that the moment that gold peaks, usually Bitcoin goes for a crazy rally afterwards. If you start to add all these things up, it seems more and more likely that this is again a point where things start to surge because there's not that much keeping it back anymore. To add emphasis to that as it currently stands for XRP, like I said, we are facing the most important resistance right now. If we cross this, I think it's going to be a pretty easy journey back towards about $2.25, again on the very short term. But more importantly, once we cross that, most likely this is going to be the start of the next impulse. And what I mean with that is we had ourselves this massive impulse from November to January, right? You can see the legs up were tremendous with slow and steady descents. No crazy dumps for the most part, just slow and steady. The same has happened for the downside, or at least the major downside. It's been slow and steady, mostly just sustained. What we're waiting for, or what we're looking for here really, is for the next breakout, which is going to most likely or hopefully look like we saw back in November with some crazy power, some crazy momentum. And the only thing keeping it back right now is Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin shows some more signs of just continuing on with the rally here, XRP has its time to flourish, and it seems to be right now. It really, funnily enough, seems to be the moment where things start turning around. I don't know, but this feeling I've got here that even though you don't trade with feelings, it feels as if the prices have gone down for so long that people are kind of not as negative anymore, right? The narrative has started to shift from, oh, this is all over to, we're just waiting for the next leg up. It's an interesting shift I'm seeing in terms of sentiment. Now, I'll remind you of one other thing too. Every single day I post these updates, I get some comments saying, yeah, but diversification is key. Diversification is key. Go for the stock market. Let me remind you that I am a very big proponent of the stock market. I think it's a good idea to always have some money in stocks, and I definitely think it's nice to have different assets. But just to counter all this whole line of thought, if you put $10,000 into the stock market right now, think about how much money you'd make with crypto in a good 2 bull markets, right? Because right now we've got a year of bull market left, let's say, then 1 year of down, and then 3 years of up. So let's just say 2 bull markets over the next 5 years. If we take that same number, 5 years, and put it in the stock market, we expect to make from the $10,000, maybe it turn it into $15,000, in a good scenario, $25,000. I personally think, and I like to say it right now, if you are not able to turn 10K into more than 25K in 2 bull markets, you're the problem, all right? That's the best thing I can say right now. You are the problem. So getting back to it, here's why, even though stocks are generally speaking good, especially with the more money you have, especially if you're in that phase where you're caring more about the preservation of wealth rather than accumulation. It's basically phase 2 out of multiple phases. One is getting to some sort of balance, getting some money. And the second one is just not losing it. And I guess to continue on with having the same or if not more purchasing power. Because obviously if you just keep it in dollars, it's going to go down over time because of inflation. But also, I mean, now that you've got money, you got to make more money, right? Because why not? If you've got the resources. But also I've started to think, man, the crypto market is actually being manipulated so much by TradFi, by all these macro plays. I wonder how that's actually going to look as the market kind of simmers down, it calms down, and people start to just focus more on crypto itself. But even if we skip that and just take a look at some of the things that are coming up, a lot of things are interesting right now as we speak, all right? Today, just now today, we've got the U.S. leading economic indicators, okay? Various Fed presidents speak. Tomorrow, S&P flash U.S. services PMI, manufacturing PMI, new home sales. Okay, I don't care about new home sales. We have afterwards initial jobless claims, consumer sentiment over on Friday. So just a very interesting week or events to watch for this week. And I mean, there are many articles that break these down more into detail. If you guys want a video about how to, I guess, trade more alongside these claims or these numbers, do let me know in the comment section. I think, though, that it's not that important for coins like XRP or many altcoins. It's more actually for TradFi or particularly for Bitcoin on the short term. Over a longer term, I don't think it will matter even a single bit. But yeah, as it currently stands, most interesting thing is Bitcoin right now breaking out from its head and shoulders, or actually inverse head and shoulder pattern. And actually, I'll post a nice little video today, probably somewhere later today, about how you could have taken this trade a little bit earlier most likely a few days ago actually, for some pretty juicy profit. I'll just probably call it a how to make $100 a day trading crypto video, because again, here just exactly following one of my strategies, you could have had a pretty juicy trade, which could have resulted in like 4 or so whatever percent profit, which again, with leverage could have been 20, 30, 40, or even 50%, which is pretty amazing. But again, that'll come out in a few hours. So guys, if you enjoyed this little crypto update of just exactly what's going on right now, we are facing a nice breakout finally after a long amount of time. It's starting to look positive again in the market, but every single time things start to look good, we've been smashed on our faces here recently. So maybe do not get too excited, but depending on where we close at or out at over the next couple of hours, potentially this is the breakout we were hoping for. For XRP though, we are, let me quickly find the chart, on the verge of it happening. But the moment that it happens, just like how we've been waiting for such a long time when it came to this like 7-year or 8-year, whatever, altcoin season, or the 7-year breakout, I kind of feel as if this is again a moment that will be remembered for long for XRP, depending on what we do over the next day or two. So keep watching it very, very carefully, because this could be the moment.